9 months before the Halloween block party. Friday night. Chapter 1. The bonfire glistened in the darkness and lit up their faces. Kale let out a sigh and leaned her head against Blake's shoulder. The beer felt cold in her hand. She drank from it and closed her eyes. She felt good, finally. There were still 4 months till graduation. She still had time. One of the girls started to dance. Kate chuckled. The buzz from the beer had set in, making her relax. It had been a rough few months, and her parents would kill her if they knew she was out partying with her friends instead of studying at home. After her grades had dropped drastically in her second grading period, they had barely let her go anywhere or do anything. She had to think about her future, they kept telling her. Kate hadn't applied for any colleges. Her parents didn't know yet, and she feared for the day she would have to tell them. But she simply couldn't. Kate was sick of school. Student burnout, her guidance counselor had called it when handing her the pamphlet with the girl on the cover, who was rubbing her forehead and looking like she was in pain. Yes, Kate was burnt out. You could call it that, but the fact was, she was done with school. Once she graduated, she wasn't going to school anymore. Never again. So, what was she going to do? Travel the world. That was her magic plan. She would apply for a job at the local Dairy Queen and save up for a trip around the world. Maggie Munson from down the street had done it, and so had Kate. She simply couldn't sit still anymore. 12 years had to be enough. What did she need all this education for anyway? She was just going to marry some rich guy like her mother had and spend the rest of her life taking care of their kids. This was it for her if she ever wanted to see the world, if she ever wanted to do something with her life before it was over. "Are you warm enough?" Blake asked. "You want my jacket?" "I'm fine," Kate said with an exhale. She wasn't going to think about this too much tonight. She still had 4 months. 4 months could be an eternity. "How are you going to tell your parents?" her friends kept asking her while busy making all their plans for the future and writing essays to go with their applications. "They'll kill you." She knew it was bad. She knew they would be angry with her. No, make that furious. But it was, after all, her life, wasn't it? She was 18 and old enough to make her own decisions. "They're going to kick you out," Blake had told her earlier in the day when they ate burgers and drank milkshakes at Sophie's diner. "So let them," she had said. "I'll come live with you." That made Blake laugh. They both knew he was going away to Duke next year, as was the tradition in his family. They had been dating for a year now and really cared for one another, but they both knew this was it. Once they graduated, it was over. They weren't going to see each other anymore. Their parents were very happy about that, but Kate and Blake, not so much. She had begged him to go with her, to elope with her. They both came from families with money, but as soon as they didn't do what was expected of them, they both knew they would also lose all of their privileges and the money. Blake wasn't ready to do that. His plan was to go away to Duke, then come back and marry Kate. But Kate didn't believe she could wait that long, or that he would. She feared he would meet some girl at Duke who was ambitious like him and then marry her instead. Some career girl that his parents would love. Kate finished her beer. "You want another one?" Blake asked. She nodded and rubbed her hands against each other to keep them warm. It had snowed the day before and the trees were covered in white. Blake reached into his bag and grabbed her another beer. He opened it for her, and she took it, lifting it up towards her lips and drinking the sweet stuff, letting it drown out all her sadness and worry about the future, desperately trying to forget. The girl was still dancing, and now her boyfriend joined her. Kate watched them for a little while, trying to block out every bad thought without success. Blake suddenly moved. "I gotta take a leak." Kate said and sat up while Blake left, disappearing in between the trees. He had exactly 60 seconds left to live.